The pins that you see me removing is what secures the boom during transportation. So it is necessary to remove these pins before operating the boom. I like to use the standard toolbox on the side to stow these away, and once this is done, you are ready to get in the cab and operate the machine. Here I will demonstrate how to maneuver the boom and set it in the proper position in order to continue the process of removing the boom. You will lift the first arm up in almost the full up position. You will then swing the boom all the way to the left until you hit the stops and can no longer move the boom any further. You will then bring the second arm down and rotate the forestry attachment pointing away from the communal. You then will set the forestry head attachment on the bottom skid plates and roller. After that is done, you should see this nice A-frame setup and will now be ready to continue the process of disconnecting the boom arm. In this section, I will demonstrate the necessary steps required in preparation of removing the boom. Here you will need to secure the boom jack stands, which will be needed to safely allow you to stow the boom away and be ready for reconnecting the boom at a later time. There are 2 jack stand storage locations on the boom frame where you store the jacks when not in use. The 3rd jack will need to be stored at your facility. To apply the proper amount of pressure on the jack stands, you will twist the handles until you start feeling some pressure being created. At this point, you give the handle one last half turn to full turn, and you will have the proper pressure on the jack stands needed. The hydraulic manifold you see me disconnecting is all the hydraulic double actings required to move the boom and attachment functions through the joystick. This is a quick connect and connect system that is standard on all communals. All you do is simply hold the red release button and pull back on the handle, and the double acting hydraulics are disconnected. Next, I will disconnect the hydraulic power, return, and case drain hydraulic lines. This is what will power any attachment that requires hydraulic flow. All hydraulic lines will have quick connect fittings. There are 2 electrical connections that will need to be disconnected: a small connector under the cab on the left side and the electrical connector on the right side. The plastic bottle comes with all communals and will need to be connected to the case drain hydraulics, which will help prevent hydraulic pressure buildup on the boom arm attachment. Once this is done, you are now ready to disconnect from the boom. This portion of the video, I will show you where the 2 secure bolts are located on the communal. There is 1 large secure bolt on the left side and the right side of the adapter frame. These bolts require a 46mm socket to secure the locking nut to the secure bolt. These 2 secure bolts will be required to remove and install on every attachment. This is another additional added feature to be sure the attachment is securely connected to the communal tractor. At this point, you will be in the cab with the communal running. The key I am pointing at is how you will hydraulically release the attachment from the communal by unlatching the secure hooks from the attachment. Once the hooks are fully released, you may now back away from the boom and will be ready to connect to a different attachment. At this time, I will demonstrate how to connect to the loader bucket attachment. You will first drive the Kommunal's front adapter frame under the loader attachment frame, but will stop early with about 8 inches left before you're in the full mounting position. This will give you enough space to allow for easier connection of the hydraulics. At this time, you will get out of the Communal and walk around to the other side. I find it's easier to get on top to connect the Easy Connect hydraulic manifold for the double acting hydraulics. You will have 2 guide pins you will use to line up both manifold blocks for ease of connecting. Once that is done, you will use the handle to secure and lock in the hydraulic lines. Now it's time to get back into the machine and pull the rest of the way into the attachment. Once that is done, you will use the same key from earlier to secure and attach the loader by latching the hydraulic safety hooks to the attachment, securing the attachment to the Communal. The last step is to remove the storage jacks and stow them onto the attachment where they have a designated storage place when not in use. After securing the 2 bolts from the previous portion of this video, you are now ready to operate the loader attachment. Here I will demonstrate how to reconnect the boom arm attachment to the Communal. I'll drive the Communal forward and slide the front adapter frame from the Communal under the boom arm attachment adapter frame until I am all the way up in the full forward position. I will then use the same key to control the hydraulic secure hook to connect the attachment and fully secure it to the tractor. Next, I will get out of the Communal to secure the quick connect double acting hydraulic manifolds as you have seen previously in this video. I have found that it's easier to do this by getting on top of the Communal first. At this point, I will reconnect the hydraulic power line, the hydraulic return line, and the hydraulic K-strain. This particular attachment requires hydraulic flow, so this circuit is necessary. Once that is finished, I'll reconnect the electrical power to the right side, the socket in the center, and the electrical connector that is on the left side under the cab. Once this is done, all necessary circuits are ready to go. Here is where I will remove the jack stand system. I will stow the two away at the designated point on the machine, and remember you will have to store the third stand at your facility somewhere. Once all these stands are removed, you will then install the two safety bolts shown earlier, and you will be ready to operate this machine.